It took a while, but we made it. And now I have the ventilator spinning a little bit so that sometimes it hits the PC. I have the PC also. Not sure if I'll be able to show it. Oh, fuck. I have the PC. I have the PC now elevated to try to see if it cools a little bit better and it doesn't happen. We'll see. Okay. Stream take 2 indeed. Okay, where were we? I was talking about this grocery thing, and I think I just had opened the either this tab saying how my week. Okay, I mean, actually, the break was pretty clean because I was just starting to talk about week 25, so I guess it's clean at least. Oh. I was just thinking that it might help because of a video where someone always had a short circuit and then he tried to force it and it wasn't short circuit. He noticed it was because of the fan. With the fan it was working perfectly. Without it, it overheated and burned out. Yeah, I think my old computer, one of my old computers, the old desktop, it was like it had power supply issues. Like I had a bad Chinese power supply, the default from a, how's it called? A pre-built PC, HP, some HP, random HP business PC. Not business, but like normal office PC. And when I upgraded the graphics card and so on, it would work and so on. But then at certain points, it would like go off, and it was because of the power or something. I guess this is different. That's like heat, right? That's like the ventilator not functioning. But yeah, I think this computer is already like old or something, so I'm going to get a PS5 next, but afterwards probably the PC is probably coming. Maybe I go Mac, though. Maybe I buy like one of those 5,000 euro Macs that can run local LLMs and so on. Mainly because of the agents. I'm not really that interested in like local LLMs purely to like, I don't know, for the same purpose that I use LLMs now. Mostly for agent things, to be able to like have an agent in my own computer and like have it access to my data and be like more like, maybe I would do that, but I don't know. Those are like 5,000 euros on a fucking computer is like too much. Anyways, since I forgot what I was talking about, okay, sum up about this grocery thing. I like when people come up with like interesting systems and so on. I find it interesting, and I find it like it's like talking about everyday things that are usually like not explained or something, but coming up with like an original idea for explaining it is cool, in my opinion. Like giving a twist to the obvious. This day, the first day of this Prüfungs week, my classmate that usually takes me there with his car, he had like a doctor's appointment, so he came a little bit later. So I used one of these rented bikes. I think this one, the Voi, or the Lime. I don't know. I think the Lime. With the fan, it was working perfectly. Without it, overheated and burnt out. Yeah, mine is also like a little bit clogged with dust. It was a new building, this S-Bahn Academy. It's interesting, like the building is nice. It doesn't have klima now, so it's like... But at least the ventilation, as I said before, like the ventilation is better because... Yeah. And these days it wasn't that hot. Like at these days, when I rode there, it was still like 15, maybe 16 degrees. Maximal temperature, it was already like 25 or something, but it was a nice temperature. This was the class. Like the building is pretty nice. And this was the plan for the week. First day Rangiren, going over Rangiren, a questionnaire with some questions and talking about the doubts and so on. Then the next day Fahren and like Unregelmäßigkeiten im Bahnbetrieb, that's 5 plus 6. Then the next day Zugbeeinflussung und Zugfunk. On this day also a little bit of Fahrplan und so. The fourth day going over tests that are more similar to the Zusatzbescheinigung, also like so more or less Kreuzenfragen or however you call them, cross questions. Why do every modern building in Germany look like prisons from outside? Especially look awful. I am all I don't know. I like them. I like this kind of like Bauhaus style, but I do hate the fire doors. You know, that does make it look a little bit like a prison. And my building, the one that I live in right now, it also has these fire doors that are like, it feels like you're walking through a prison because there are so many fire doors and so on. It's like, can't they invent? In my school, the fire doors were open and they would close in the event of a fire. Why are these fucking cheapos using doors that are permanently closed except when you have to open them? And yeah, the fifth day was like Fachgespräch. That's like Fachgespräch, Vorbereitung for the Fachgespräch. That's the teacher. And this was like something he explained. That was one of these days he used to explain this Holzeisenbahn. And it had the wagons that we use. It's like they are not made by them. It's a company that makes them, but they bought them. And it's pretty funny. If I pass the exams and so on, I will get one of these. Waiting on me. God's plan. Then I have a couple of videos of Bahnübergänge or so on, or something like this. This is my garage. Okay, it stopped syncing. That's yesterday. Then the rest of the week, it was basically what I mentioned in that screenshot. One of those days, I went using a scooter, one of these Lime scooters, but aside from that, nothing too much. One of those days, I ate burger with a classmate. On Friday, we went to class and then I went to the park a little bit. And then we went to get ice cream. and watched a movie, I think. Yeah, we watched a movie here at a friend's house. Then these pictures, they are from a couple of days ago, Saturday, because I went to the Kela TIFF garage in Kela, and it's cold there, or at least cooler than here, so it's nice to be there. And yeah, I think technically we can't be there, and I definitely probably can't take pictures, but they have a lot of like these expensive cars, so I find it interesting. I like these kind of parking systems as well. I could consider working for a parking system company. I find it interesting. I mean, I'm not sure if working for a company like that is cool or not, like the work itself. But the systems, I find something about them interesting. That's me. I was with my fan, this fan. And yeah, yesterday, Sunday, or it wasn't yesterday, it's Sunday. I don't have anything. I guess I just went for a walk, and I went for a walk with a classmate. During the day, I didn't do anything. Then this Monday, we had simulator yesterday. Today is Tuesday, right? No, today is Wednesday. Okay, so on Tuesday, on Monday, sorry, we had simulator. And yeah, it was a different guy. It was an interesting simulator, not super interesting in terms of like what we did. And he also didn't explain a lot of what's going to be happening on the simulator exam. So that's a little bit sad. But meh. Then yesterday I went to class for what was it? Yeah, it was this kind of like life hacks for you day. So basically there is a guy who comes to tell us tips in case we have stress for the exams. And it is stupid, to be honest, but to me, I like it. I prefer one of those days to a day like today where I have to stay home with 30 degrees in my own room, studying by myself without meeting my classmates or something like this. That makes me more stressed than not doing that. And the tips he gave, I mean, they weren't like insane, but they were like some kind of, I guess, nice reminders to relax, to do things that take your mind off the stress, and to do those things. So I think, for example, streaming right now, even though tomorrow I have a Fachgespräch, it's not like whatever I study today is going to like make a difference too much. Maybe if I knew that there were some things that I actually really don't know at all, meh. But there are like more or less I know more or less most of the things. It's just that maybe they ask in a way where I don't know everything or something like that. Right? There's always that uncertainty and so on. So it's like, yeah, I'll give it a go. I'll try to check the dots. I'll try to mark some dots over some I's that maybe I see are not really dotted, but yeah. This was the simulator, by the way. I think I'm gonna take a cold shower, sweating my ass over here. Take care, don't let the heat or stress get to you. Okay, have fun. Well, have fun in the shower. I mean, if you want to have fun. But, yeah. Hope you cool down. And hope you do get a break, a little vacation, some chilling time. And if not, hope at least it's chill at work. and less stressful overall. Have a nice week, and yeah, wish me luck on my tests. Hope ich schaffe es. Maybe I'll stream again on Saturday and Sunday, because if I don't stream, I'll probably go crazy. Like if I spend Friday, Saturday, Sunday alone without doing anything, like that takes my mind off it, I'm going to go insane. So I'll probably stream, even though maybe I'll actually study stream and like try to go over some things that are kind of like worrying me a little bit or something like this, or comment on the failures that I had on this last Fachgespräch. I don't know. But yeah, if you're there, see you then, and if not, hope you have a nice week. Well, I'm going to continue, and yeah, this is the simulator setup. I think I took a picture of the teacher, so I'm not going to show it because he's like too seeable, I guess. This is the prison-looking building. I liked the way the light shone through these rails. That was the next day, or that day back. Yeah, because of the simulator, I had it with him, with a classmate, and he had this new car, so I took a picture of it. And this was yesterday. No, that was that day at night. This is the next day, aka yesterday, and yesterday we had this life hacks for you thing that I mentioned, which it was nice, I guess. It had its boring part, which is, I guess, always something of the same, of like, do, relax, blah, blah. But it's nice to hear, for me at least. I feel it's nice. And I prefer that to being alone in my house studying. So, yeah, I don't know if the people who are not going to make it feel about it, or the people who are more or less on the line feel like one day of intense studying would do good for them. I don't know. But for me personally, I prefer taking my mind off it, getting some like relaxation tips or whatever, and yeah. And today I didn't do a lot. I went to the Kela for a little bit. I studied, I don't know, 1 hour and a half, something like this. Just going over the old not Regelwerke, the old Fachgespräche that we had this week, and it was fine. And then I made lunch, just lazied around a little bit. I remember that I could stream and started streaming. And yeah. I guess I could talk about some topics. Let's see. I noted some ideas to either talk about or just some things that were kind of like on my mind. I have a note here called Action Before Reflection. I was wrong in both counts, action and reflection. In my reflection period, I was in a relatively inactive period and relatively highly reflective period. Almost plus actual unemployment, YouTube, journaling, etc. And in my action period, more active, but the movement hasn't taken me somewhere. I have this noted. I don't know where I found out about this action before reflection video thing. I think on a podcast with 3 blue, 1 brown, maybe. I have a couple of video ideas about why I hate Jaime Altozano. In defense of the hyperlink, some kind of things that I've been thinking about. But I guess mainly what I've been thinking about is this kind of like the price of being a train driver, if I actually like the price. And I guess I also wanted to reflect, based on yesterday, I did get some questions. I think, yeah, it was in this life hacks for you here. There were like a couple of things that I noted, but I think I noted them on the notebook, but not on this one, on another notebook that I have over there, I think. Yeah, not on this one. Some things about things like where to go. No, not where to go exactly, but it was something like thinking of relationships. It's like you should run some tips for today, right? For these periods of time between exams. It's like surround yourself with people, relationships, blah blah blah. So that in that case, I'm doing that, I guess, with streaming, and Haneo, seeing Haneo was really nice, even if it's just virtually and through text. To me, it does feel like a relationship in a way, right? So it's not hanging out with people IRL, but at least it is something, in my opinion, and it helps me I guess, keep my mind off things. Even though if I'm talking about it, it's still kind of like different than thinking about it by yourself. Some other thing was something that helps is like focusing on the goal. So I guess I wanted to focus on the goal, but not sure how to put it. I wanted to focus how to so I wanted to, I guess, reiterate the goal of being like a train driver I don't like. I wanted to reiterate the part that I don't like, that that I have been demotivated about, which is like train driving itself is cool, but the people there give me pause. I don't want to say things before, right? I don't want to say that, but it is something I dread, right? That is real. I do dread that. I do dread the moment where I have to go on my own and potentially meet people that are annoying. But I do want to observe another culture. I do want to get to know people in that frame, and I feel like even if it's annoying or so, I do want to learn to navigate it. And if I can see that as an opportunity to navigate it, I want to at least do it. Then if I do find out I don't like it, or if it ends up being too much, right? Or if I end up thinking that I could have skipped that because I already saw it coming, I want to reframe that, and instead of like being like, okay, I should have skipped it because I saw it coming, it's like, no, I want to, if it happens, I hope it doesn't happen, but if it ends up happening and my quote unquote worst fears come true, I do want to at least try to navigate that gracefully and try to show up with grace. Not let that eat me. Show up with assertion also. Those things I would say in general. And I was thinking of like tips for the exam itself. It's like ask questions during the exam. Johannes always said that, and I think it's good advice. clarify what you don't know, clarify what you don't know. Don't let yourself get eaten by a formulation that is weird. And don't get intimidated by the people who assume that that is a trivial formulation just because you don't know it. I don't know. I think that's where I'm at. I think that I'm going to go to have dinner. After dinner, plus after dinner some YouTube, and then try to go to bed. Not sure if early, but yeah. So yeah, about the goals, I wanted to mention that goal, and yeah, I'm think I'm going to end the stream. I wanted to look for the phone to send him an email to try to get the points from this presentation. Maybe I'll try to get the notebook. Actually, nah, it doesn't. I don't have any notes made that are better than the ones that I have on the phone. So, yep. It was basically surround yourself with people. So yeah, that's it for today. I don't think I want to do it anymore, and I'm going to have dinner now, a cold shower, and hopefully sleep well for tomorrow's Fachgespräch. I mean, it's not something crazy, not something critical, it's just a Fachgespräch. Just preparation. But yeah, I do want to maybe kick it off with a little Wiederholung, maybe check the previous Fachgespräche, and yeah, see where it goes. Bye.